Okay. So letting some people in. Mr. Michael Vu, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, DK. Thank you.
Good to see you here, man. Mr. Mark Hammer. Happy New Year, my friend.
It's his birthday today.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, happy birthday to Mr. Mark Hammer. The guy is a machine out of Vancouver, friend of ours and top producing agent. Happy birthday. John, nice to see you.
Good to see you, sir.
Thank you. You had a good time in Mexico?
Very nice time with the team. Yes, sir.
Good. Back to work, right?
Back to work.
John, I'm finding there's a lot of people right now, and if anybody has a question, just put your hand up and we'll get to it. But also wanted to get back to basics, get back to work. There's a lot of people in Ottawa right now, a lot of expired listings, and a lot of people, what's happened was a lot of people that bought new builds, a lot of those new builds were delayed. And a lot of them were delayed long time, like a year, 2 years. And I had several calls from people this week that said, I just got informed from my builder that my house is closing in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So it's like urgency, right? Like now. So getting a lot of that and getting some offers. So like the market is actually stabilizing here in Ottawa, which is really good. I'd say it's actually quite healthy, which is a good sign. How are things shaping up in Vancouver? I'm looking to see how it's going across Canada.
Yeah, inventory's low at the moment. And, I could see some listings coming up, but I do think that sales are still going to be low for January and February because of the low inventory. So not much to choose from. We're still seeing multiple offers, but just less listings to buy.
Condos here went up. The average price of a house went down. The average detached price December over December, but condos went up. So I think what's going to be really important is I told my team yesterday in our team meeting, everybody here has access to the same information. What's going to separate you is how you disseminate that information to your database and to your leads. If you don't know how to extrapolate it and convey the information in a way that makes sense, you're going to have people that won't understand. And when people don't understand, they're just going to be uncertain and they'll just wait until someone else comes along and explains it in a way that makes sense and makes them feel comfortable. So why don't we try something out and see how it goes? So you want to try a role play, John?
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to be calling you. My house just it's on the market now with a for sale by owner company, but I'm in a position now where I'm calling realtors because I have to sell and it's just not working. Yeah, it's just not working with that company. So I'm going to call you. Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, ring.
Hello. Good morning. It's John.
Hi, John. My name is Jimmy, and we have a house for sale here in Barrhaven. And we've heard good things. We've seen your signs around, and we're currently on the market right now with for sale by owner company. And it's just not working out. So we're in the process of interviewing agents for the job. And we'd like to talk to you about coming over and letting us know what you can do to help us get it sold.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for reaching out, Jimmy. And it would be a great honor to help you and your family get moving from Barrhaven here. Just out of curiosity, Jimmy, if you were to sell this home, where would you go next?
So we actually bought a new build from Tamarack and it's closing in April. It was delayed twice. Yeah, it was delayed twice. And it's finally, we just heard yesterday that, that they're closing. They didn't give us a lot of notice. So we're kind of, we need to get this sold pretty quick, I guess.
So it sounds like you do need to get it sold to get the funds out to close on the other property. Is there an option for you not to sell the property and still close on the other one?
We'd love to keep it, but it's just not realistic with the interest rates the way they are. We would prefer selling it, to be honest with you.
Okay, got it. And if you don't mind me asking, what's the address of your current listing on the MLS with the for sale by owner company?
It was 145 Deercroft Avenue.
145 Deercross Avenue. I'm just pulling it up here. Okay, perfect. So it looks like you've been on the market now 2 months and you do need to close by April. So we don't have a lot of time, Jimmy.
Well, do you think you can get it sold by April?
Absolutely. Why don't we do this? Why don't we meet for about 10 to 15 minutes? I can come and take a quick look at the home, show you exactly what our plan of action is to get your home sold in today's market in less than 30 days. If you and I were to meet, with tomorrow at 4 o'clock work, or would Friday be better for you?
I think tomorrow. We'd like to meet as soon as possible, to be honest, John. We've already
Okay.
met with two other people. We met with Marnie Bennett and we met with Paul Rushforth, and they were both good teams too. So you're the last person, then we're going to make a decision.
Perfect. So it sounds like you're committed to getting this home sold, and you've already gone ahead and interviewed two other agents. I guess my question for you is, since while I have you on the phone and we're going to meet each other tomorrow, do you have any questions for me before we meet?
Yeah. So I'd like you to come over and tell us what we have to do to get it sold. We've got two kids. There's definitely some touch-ups that need to be done. We don't know if we need to stage it or not. We don't know. Like we need to get the most money out of this house, John. So we need you to come over and tell us, do we need to do any upgrades? Do we need to spend money? Ideally, we don't want to do that, but we know the house doesn't look maybe as good as some of the other ones. Like we don't have granite countertops. I know that a lot of people want that. Should we go and spend the money? Like some of the feedback from like the other people that came to see my house was that it didn't have some of the upgrades
Gotcha.
at the 629 price. So what did you I guess that's the thing. So we want you to come over and tell us what to do. And then we're wondering what you think of our price. And we're also wondering, what's your commission? Sorry to ask, but we have to ask.
Oh, no, I appreciate that. So commission really, there's three things to look at. Number one is the price that we set for your home. Number two, again, is the condition of your home. And number three is how hard you want the buyer's agents out there in the Barrhaven market working to show your home. And it sounds like to me, looking from the pictures, DK, of your home, there's a lot of opportunities where I can already see my team can help you spruce up the listing and actually get the most amount of exposure possible. So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at 4 o'clock, DK. Any other questions?
Yeah, no, I'd like to meet you too. What do you think of the price, John? 629. Do you think that's realistic? Do you think that we'll have to go below that? Because we need a certain dollar value to make this work. I mean, what do you think of the price?
Let me ask you this question. I appreciate that. Let me ask you a question, DK. Sorry, Jimmy. How many showings have you had in the past 2 weeks?
In the last 2 weeks, it was slow. Like we were told that's the holidays. We had like two.
Okay.
One couple came back again with their parents. They said they like it, but they're still waiting for some money to come from the parents, and we're not sure what their financial situation is. And then one agent that hasn't gotten back to us yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it does sound like you are getting showings, but not too many. Our listings right now on the market who weren't getting showings before in the holiday season, we're getting 5 to 6 showings a week right now. So there's definitely some improvement on the price that we need to look at as well, Jimmy. So why don't we do this? We'll talk more about price, commission, and the condition of your home, how we can see if we can improve the listing altogether. So DK, look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Okay. That sounds good. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Did I miss anything?
No, I mean, we're not going to go into like pre-qual and like, because then you'd obviously say, oh, before we hang up, we have a few more questions to ask you. Is now a good time? Ask about the house. What improvements have they made? How old is the roof, the furnace, the windows? I would probably, in a perfect world, what would your ideal closing date be? Like, for example, you said April. What day is your house closing? Like, I would dig deep on the pre-qual.
Yeah.
If I got that call. I really liked what you did when I asked you, it came to the price. You said that's a great question, and then you went to how many showings did you have? So you're obviously making a connection in the seller's mind, so they can understand between the amount of activity they've had and the price, as opposed to telling me, well, I think the price is good, or I don't think the price is good. You're doing what a master salesperson does, which is informing the client, asking them open-ended questions, and that they will come to the realization on their own, hey, maybe it's time, to make a different price. So I really like that about what you did.
Yeah, I also sprinkled in the fact that our other listings are getting more showings.
Mm.
So that means that there is an opportunity to improve the pricing. That's one of the first things we will talk about when I see you.
Mhm.
So
I noticed that. It was really good. I like that you closed right away. Guys, urgency is of the utmost importance, more than I've seen in a decade, because every listing appointment that I've booked this week or been on, everybody was like, I need to meet now. Every single person was like, I need to sell now. I need to do something now. And
wow.
mainly sellers. Yeah. Because like one of them, they said to me that the rate is just killing them because they're on a variable and they're like, I got to sell, but they have equity. So they're going to win. Like they bought it for like, let's say 400, I'm going to sell it for 850. So they're going to still win, but they're like, we need to meet now. And then I had a couple of things like what we just did. So I will tell you though, guys, I lost a listing on Monday. I never went. I was set to be the third agent. They hired the second one in. Sometimes,
Wow.
I used to say, I don't care if I'm first, second, or last. A lot of times I wanted to be last when I was a new agent because I thought I want to know what the other people say and then I'll adapt. But as my career progressed, now I want to be first. I want to be so good that they cancel the second and third. And it's not always going to happen. They're often going to say, well, we already booked the second and third appointment. We'd like to hear them out. But imagine getting so good that they're like, we don't even need to meet anybody else. And that's where you want to be. But these people on Monday couldn't wait for me. Someone went in, really aggressive, closed them. And I told my team, from now on, you ask them, how many people are you interviewing? You ask the names. Often the seller won't tell you their names, and that's okay. But you ask just so you can prepare better if you can know. And then you say, what time are you meeting them? And you want to be first. You want to leave a very good impression and be the best. And hopefully you will be. That way, second and third will pale in comparison because you want to get that opportunity. Because I'm telling you guys, from what I see here in Ottawa, and I don't know where you're at, the agents are aggressive and you might not get a chance. As Rocky Balboa says, or as Creed said to Rocky, and I think it was when he was training him to beat Mr. T, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. You might not get a chance. So that stung me like a bee, man. Like I didn't like, I don't mind losing and competing and losing, but not getting an opportunity to compete pisses me off. I want that chance. So urgency.
Is that the one where we they ran on the beach to hug each other?
Yeah, it is the one I sent you for your birthday. Yeah. Thank you. Anybody have any questions about that role play? That was very realistic. And even the things I was throwing at John with respect to like, what do we do with the house? A lot of people here have kids. So like a lot of the houses are beat up. So I was trying to be as realistic as possible. If anybody has a question, raise your hand or just shoot it out. Just gonna add one more person here. Nobody? Okay. Mr. Mark Hammer.
Yes, hello. That was great. Very entertaining. Brings me back to when I was a young man.
Mark, it's your world, man. We're just living in it. Happy birthday, brother.
Thanks.
Can I ask you, Mark, what are you telling your team to focus on right now? It's a new year. It's January 11th. What are you guys focusing on? Expireds, FSBOs, past clients, door knocking? What are you focusing on right now to generate some good conversations?
It's just talking to people. Get out there and talk to people. Don't be a secret agent.
Okay.
Whether it's door knocking or expired listings. I don't think there's any FSBOs in our area. I've always, like, for the last, most of my career's been just sold, just listed, right?
Okay.
And so the expired thing, like I said, it reminds me of when I was a young man, because that's what I did when I first got into real estate. January 1st, I'd be at the office, hungover, and printing out all those expired listing sheets and then going out there and banging on the doors. So I remember those days, and I mean, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
We need to go out and bang on those doors. There's people out there that need our help, and we just need to be in front of them. So how are we going to get in front of them?
I agree 1,000%. And yesterday was freezing, but Andreas from my team was door knocking, and I was proud of him because, and yesterday when I sold that house, Sylvie, my assistant, told the team, go out there and knock and tell the whole street that DK team just sold this listing because it was listed with a for sale by owner company. And it's the second house on that street that was a FSBO, and we ended up converting them. So obviously Just like we always say, we know that when one person sells, someone else on the street is thinking of buying or selling, or they know someone who's thinking of buying or selling. They just saw you prove it. Now, you don't have one. That's okay. Take one from your company. Your company doesn't have one. That's okay. Go to a competing company. Your neighbor just sold their home. It doesn't have to be yours. The point is, when a house sells on a street, people talk. And maybe you don't like knocking. Try telelisting. Call. There is opportunity out there, and I think I'm excited. And I don't know, I'd like to talk to you guys about your accountability. John, what are you doing for accountability with respect to prospecting? Anyone on your team, do they have any like penalties if they break their schedule, or is it just open-ended and they come and go as they please? Like, what is the expectation for someone to be successful?
Well, I mean, when I was grinding on a high level, I was like multiple accountability partners, $100 each. If I didn't hit my 40, didn't hit my 50, didn't hit my 55. And I did that for over 10 years. Right now, our team, the only accountability that I have for them is a daily powwow meeting. So we all get on a call together, and then we just, hold each other accountable. How many contacts are you going to do? How many contacts you do yesterday? Yeah. Just that alone, I think is good. But if you really want to hit your goals, you better put some money on it. And that's what I did way back, right? What do you think?
Yeah, yesterday I paid Sylvia $100 because 9 to 11, I don't leave my office. 9:05, I leave my office to make a tea because I forgot. And she, did you just leave your office? I'm like, son of a bitch. I gave her $100 on the spot. And you know what? I got back in and I called 9 more people to set another appointment. So we all get complacent. I don't give a shit who you are. And I had to pee so bad, I might buy some diapers because I am not leaving my office from 9 to 11. And the key is, if they interrupt me, they give me $100. So I said to her, don't spend it because I'm going to get that back from you, because you will interrupt me one day soon and I will get that money back. And I'm like, we talked about it at my team meeting. I'm a man of my word. If anyone here knows me, when I talk money, I don't fuck around. If I say something, I'm paying. And it's good. It caused me to get back in my office. And I talked to my wife about it. And she's like, don't ever give people $100 again. Just do your job. But it works, guys. It works. I got to go old school, because there's no way I'm going to achieve my goal if I don't talk to 25 people a day. And leaving my office is a bad idea for me, because one tea leads to a conversation, leads to bullshit. Stick to your schedule. That's going to be the key. Get rid of the distractions and put in crazy accountability to ensure. Jack Ma sets 40 appointments a day. And if he doesn't, he texts me every day in WhatsApp. And yesterday he sent me a message saying, what's your Venmo or what's your PayPal? I didn't text you. I didn't have to ask him. He's sending me the money. I didn't get it yet, by the way. Where the fuck is my money, Jack? So, Mark, do you have any, are you at a level now where your goals are holding you accountable, or do you have external, do you have internal and external accountability? Well, how do you stay focused on, you got to do what you got to do?
So, I mean, okay. So first of all, for everybody that's in a team that, we're going to go through a hard time right now. And, the drive's got to come not from your team leader. It's got to come from within you. So you've got to find your own drive. And so what drives you? Okay, I've got a $450,000 tax bill in April. So that's driving me, because I got to pay that. Right. And why do I have that bill? Well, because I made a lot of money over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And why did I make a lot of money over the last couple of years? Because I built a place, and because I set goals for myself, and I lived life at a high level. Right. So if you want to live and play at a high level, you got to have drive. So how do you find that drive?
What if you're in a funk? What if you're in a funk and you haven't done a deal in a couple of months, and you're like, yeah, you've made the vision boards, you know all this shit, but how do you snap out of it?
Get a haircut, shave, and go door knocking.
I know you're being funny, but I believe you. Shake it up, go get a new suit, go get do something, shake. I agree with you. Change the energy. I think that's what you're trying to say, but I know you mean get back to work, but sometimes it's not easy, right? If you're new or if you're experienced, sometimes you get into a funk. So we gotta find whatever drives us, whether it's pain or pleasure, and maybe it's a combination.
but don't just say, oh shit, the market's bad. You know, get out there and do something, change something. There's a lot of opportunities out there, and I'm really excited for this year.
Okay, well, let's role play that. So Mark, we're thinking of doing something like, how's the market? Is it good? Is it bad? What's your take on the market right now?
You know, it's a great time to sell, and I'll tell you 3 reasons why.
Okay.
Right now, there's not a lot of great inventory. All the inventory out there has been sitting around for the last 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And the places, they don't show well. So a house like yours comes on the market, it's going to sell right away. So it's a great opportunity. And for you, especially moving up, what a better time. See, people are going to get scared. Right now is a great time to sell. Prices are going to go down more because we do know interest rates are going up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you can take advantage of buying up right now. This is the time you're going to get your dream home.
Okay, I'm gonna flip you. I'm gonna test you. I'm gonna flip it around. Hey, Mark, is this a good time to buy?
Best time ever. See, the most successful investors in real estate, do you think they buy when the market's hot? They buy when the market's down, just like now. So this is the time to take advantage of the market.
I don't know about you guys. I'm not writing it down because I'm recording it because I'm gonna watch it later, but I'm super fucking impressed and inspired. That was gold. Like the first thing you said about all the inventory that's out has already been out for months and it's just they don't show up. That was gold. So simple, but so good. You totally inspired me if I was thinking of selling, if I have a nice house to show. That was awesome, Mark.
Well, thank you for putting me on the spot.
You're welcome. And I think that's what's the key is, can you debate both sides of the table? Is it a good time to buy? Is it a good time to sell? I mean, really, it depends. What are your goals? What are your, where are you going? What about the people who think it's going to drop much further? That's a good question. You can't motivate somebody. I would just go back to, look, you can't time the market, right? It's impossible. It's like trying to time the stock market. So really, to figure out if this is a good time for you and your family, I got to ask you some questions. So I just go back to the script. If you were to sell, where would you go next? Blah, 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 and just figure it out.
Yeah, as an investor or end user, right? For end users, I would just ask them, yeah, how long do you plan on staying in this house?
Yeah, long game,
right?
long.
And then if it's an investor, if it cash flows and it gives you good return every single year, who cares if it's going to go down a little bit more? We bought a townhouse during the crash in 2008, and it went down much more, but now it's up.
Yeah,
but it's been freaking 15 years, right? So, but I've been making that cash flow ever since. So you got to think about like, okay, well, if it's an end user, if you plan to be there for the next 10 years, in Vancouver, DK, nobody's ever lost money in a 10-year span, buying property here in Vancouver.
Same here. We're not as sexy as Vancouver with the high highs that you guys have, but it's super stable because it's a government town. I think that for here, if someone's buying and selling, same story. If they're buying and selling and closing within 30 to 60 days, we're not going to see a massive reduction in prices again. We are going to see a rate hike, but it's stabilizing to some degree. So if they're buying and selling within 60-day span, it's irrelevant.
I think it's time to buy now, Jay, when the prices are down a little bit, and then refinance in a couple of years when the interest rates go back down again. Right. And again, if you're speculating and wanting to hold on to the property for 1 year, year and a half, or 2 years, they're going to be nervous. But if you're there for 10 to 15 years, who cares? It's a great time to get back in. I wish I had bought more property during 08, 09. I'd fucking be retired today. This is the opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, why do you want to buy high?
Jay's question, Jay's furthering his question saying, what if the buyer is afraid to jump in and overpay today? I think that goes down to motivation again. He ran into it yesterday. Like, I have a guy, Mano, this guy I've been working with since 2019. I'm not calling him every day. He's on a search. He wants to be on a specific street. Like, he's super specific. And I said, Mano, if you had bought a few of the homes that I showed you and since 2019, you would have made 500,000-600,000 in equity. He's like, I know, and that's fine. Just keep talking to more people. You keep talking. There's no magic answer for that one guy who's nervous. You just educate him, tell him how it is, and then you just keep talking to more people. You got to find the people that want to do something now. That's all. Mark, so I cut you off, Mark. Sorry.
One of the things is like, DK, when did your, like, a lot of people our age, our parents bought in the early 80s.
Yeah.
Right. And so when someone says, well, is it a good time to buy? Well, when did your parents buy? Oh, they bought in 1981. Well, interest rates were at 21% in 1981.
Fuck, that's
And
cool.
how much is their home worth now?
Write that down. That is so good. See, that's why it's good to talk to senior citizens like Mark, because he knows. I love you, man. No, that was gold. That I'm going to use that all day long. And it's not a trick. It's fucking fact. Like, it's an aha moment, and it's so simple. This is why these calls are so fucking important. That is awesome. What else you got? What else you got? That was great.
Well, it's just telling people a story it's true, right? And you look back, whether it's 2008 or 1981, I compare our market that we're going through to like 1981, 1982.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was a 15-month cycle. We're in a 15-month cycle. You know, and it's funny because a lot of our parents are still in those homes from 1981, 1982.
Yeah.
So it really, people can really sort of relate to that. And, you know, their parents' homes are worth a fortune now.
That's excellent. Anybody else have any questions? Because we got some really experienced people here that pretty much have all the answers or know how to find it. These are the guys to talk to. Yes, Colton.
I got one. So, and I was going to discuss it with Mark today about it. I got an accepted offer on a place in Squamish, and my client, the subject removals on Friday, and he's starting to get a little bit of cold feet. Mostly because he's still looking at listings, and more listings are coming out now. And he's like, oh, he's like, I really like this one too. He's like, I'm not sure if I'm making the right move. But he was in a place before where he was in love with this place and willing to overpay for it when he knew there's an accepted offer on it, but it collapsed. What would you guys say to him to kind of get his enthusiasm about the place back up?
Yeah, good question. This happens all the time. So first and foremost, because we have the time now, I would run and show him those places. You know, we got to show him that we care about him. And how many other places are there? 2, 3? Like, it's not like you're going to show him 30 more places. Yeah, 2. So go show him.
Yeah. Well, the problem is their open house. They just came on the market, and their open house this weekend, but it closes Friday. So
Get them in now. Just tell the realtor, I got someone super interested, can't make it this weekend.
Yeah.
Can you get us in?
If you call that realtor and say, look, tell them the truth, we're locked into something, I got till Friday, but they saw yours and they're thinking of backing out and maybe buying yours, they'll let you in and then go from there.
okay.
Right? So that's where you start. But I would dig more, because I'd want to know, is it really that, or is it something else? Because sometimes there's something else that they're not telling us. But I would just go back. Okay, hold on. Do you love this house? Like, if you were to lose this home, does it have everything you're looking for? Is there anything missing? What is it about those other homes that they have that this house doesn't have? Which location do you like better? I would just ask him a shitload of questions. Go see the homes. Now that you've seen them, and by the way, Mr. Customer, whatever you decide, I support you 1,000%. If you want to firm up on house A, I support you. If you want to walk away and go to B or C, I still support you. Why don't we do this? Why don't we go see them? And at the end of those showings, if you still don't feel comfortable, because based on what we discussed, it sounds like house A is a good fit for you, but it's completely normal if you want to go see those places and have a look. And then I'd go, and then I'd say, look, we've gone and seen all 3. And if he's like, yeah, and I say, okay, are you comfortable with A? Because as soon as we remove those subjects, we're firm. You own this property. And, you know, you have to make it extremely clear, because you don't want to have him getting cold feet after. That would be worse. John, what would you do? Anything different?
Yeah, you know, we're not here to push people to buy or not to buy. So we just got to give them all the information possible, and also asking more questions, right? And like DK said, do you actually love this home? Does it have everything you need? If it doesn't, you know, I'm happy to show you more, and that's okay, right? Don't be so attached to the deal, and just do what's best for the client. And sometimes you do have to step in and say, okay, I think you should go for this house. Or I think maybe you should not go for this house. Sometimes they need that leadership as well, right? You can't always ask. Sometimes you do need to tell them what to do, because you're the professional. that make sense, Colton?
It does, yeah. He's buying it as an investment, so he's not living in it. So it's
Okay.
he doesn't really have the emotional tie to it. It's just he's looking at North Vancouver, Squamish, and
Airbnb?
Airbnb, yeah.
Oh, dude, no brainer, man. Lock it in.
Can you buy more? Can you buy more than one? Why not buy all three?
Well, and you know what, though, there is a reason, there is an emotional reason he's buying that place. Because it's a really sexy house. So I think there is, like,
So you're going to attract a higher quality tenant.
yeah, but I think a lot of the time investors say, oh, it's just an investment, there's no real emotional, there's always an emotional reason.
You just gave me everything I need. See, it's all about questions. It's all about information. So let me ask you this. What kind of tenant do you want? This house is sexy. It's going to attract the type of tenants that you're going to want to deal with. These other properties, they're great, but it's not going to bring you the same caliber. You're a busy guy. You're a professional. You're a smart business person. I think this is going to bring you a better quality tenant. Whatever you decide, I support you. But if you're looking for less headaches and a good property, I think it's this one. But whatever you decide, I support you. It's done. Because if he's just about the numbers and making life easy, and if this property is sexy, I think, Mark, that's the way to go. Yeah, that's what I would do anyway. I would just play it on that because I'm a professional. I'm busy. I don't like problems with my rental property. So if I get a sexier place, I'd rather pay a little bit more, but know that it's a better investment. So I'm curious to see how that plays out, man.
Thank you.
Let us know how it pans out. All right, guys. Going to post this on John's 2 page. Good luck, guys. Happy hunting. Let's make it an amazing 2023. And happy birthday, Mr. Mark Hammer.
Thank you.
Hey, are you going to be in Vegas next week?
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't miss it. Mike Ferry.
Okay.
Good old Mike Ferry.
Drinks on me. Bye.
All right, see you guys.
Okay, bye.